So I've been playing some Graywalkers. There's been a combat demo that's been out for a while of a game that's in a Kickstarter currently, and I gotta say I like the game. I like the game. It reminds me a lot of XCOM, but being in pre-alpha stages, there's obviously going to be problems that I encounter, and I'm not going to get the full experience of the game, but it's a game that I think will look rather nice in the future as it continues to progress. I played one of the two levels that were available. This one, I forget the name of, but essentially it is demons have came and attacked this area, and you have been brought to take them out. The classes are kind of interesting. Now, I know that they're not fully fleshed out yet, and there's a lot of things they want to be added. What I kind of like about the range classes, and while it can be a hindrance at the same time, it also is a nice bit of realism that you can run out of ammo if you don't use it wisely, because there's certain skills that will use more than one ammo that I didn't know of. There was one skill on one of the fully automatic rifle guys that I used full auto, and it used 10 rounds, which is a third of my clip. I didn't know. At some point through the game, I was sitting there without any ammo, and I was like, what do I do? And I eventually realized that you do have clips that you can use to reload in your inventory. I didn't know that, but it was nice when I figured it out. I was like, oh, thank God, I'm not going to die now. But other than that, there's a lot of cool, interesting things. I think that it has a lot of potential, but there are some things that probably definitely need to be changed and implemented, but it's obviously pre-alpha, so there's going to be a lot of changes. Like, nothing is set in concrete. Some things I would probably like to see is there's one guy in here that's pure melee, but is with his fist, and if you're not attacking with a special skill, you do like 3 damage, and that's kind of disappointing when his other abilities take so much of his action points that it's useless to use the normal skill. It's just extremely useless because you're going to do 3 damage, which is unfortunate. There's a lot of other things that I liked about the game. For example, the music is really nice. I do like the music they have going on in the background. It kind of fits the atmosphere of... There's a lot of flames going around everywhere. There's a giant hell demon. There's giant little hell spawns, probably. That was what they'd be. And they're, took down this entire, area, essentially, because the walls are all rubble. And it puts a nice kind of feeling in the world. From what I understand of the lore, the Graywalkers are humanity's last surviving, people that can defend themselves. So there are other people, but Graywalkers are like the chosen ones, sort of. They're kind of trained and know what to do. Without the Graywalkers, humanity would have been entirely annihilated. So I like the little lore that they have behind it. It feels a lot more deep than the XCOM lore. XCOM lore is kind of like, yeah, aliens attacked and you gotta defend yourself from them. And yeah, they're smart, but essentially we're just beating them up and taking their supplies and using it against them. This one's definitely more solid and story-wise, and I like that about definitely, like, you're being invaded, you're being attacked, there's these Graywalkers, they were chosen, they were been trained, there's not a lot of them left, you're one of the last this group is like one of the last Graywalkers going to defend humanity, and I really like that. There are some things that I did notice in this pre-alpha demo gameplay is I actually wasn't able to finish the level, and I got really close to being able to finish it, because when I was on the main guy who has like a shield, and I guess you would call it the most defensive one of them all, glitched out when I tried to use one of his items. I didn't realize it was not implemented yet, and so when I tried to use it, it wouldn't let me continue through the game. And when I clicked intern probably like 100 times, and it was just frozen, and like you can move around and everything, but hitting intern, it wouldn't progress to the next dude, so I wasn't actually able to finish the game or the demo of this area. But it still got a good grasp of what the game's going to be. I thoroughly enjoy tactical FP. Well, I wouldn't. What would you call this? A tactical? I don't even know the tactical RPG. Would that be the name for this? Because it's not an FPS, obviously. I'm getting that in Interstellar Marines, like mixed in my head somewhere because of guns, and guns are just, my head's not working properly. But this game, like I said earlier, is in Kickstarter. I think everyone should definitely give the demo out. because it's free for just to try it out, see if you think this game is going to be a successful game in the future. I think it is. I think it has potential. The Kickstarter is going pretty good. I've seen a lot of people go through the demo and play it, and I'm really excited to see what's going to come when it's actually in alpha stages, because pre-alpha stages is like the baby steps of the game. Even alpha and beta are kind of baby steps of the game, and being before, like, these are the basic setup of the game. This is kind of what the game's going to be revolved around. It kind of gives you what the gameplay is gonna be, but there's so many more things that need to be added to the game, obviously, because it's pre-alpha. There's not a lot of games where you actually can play a pre-alpha game, because normally it just doesn't run very well, and a lot of people get disappointed, and it might put off the game. But I see a lot of potential. Once they get into the alpha stages, and once you start seeing the game fleshed out a lot more, and possibly there be some type of campaign in the alpha, possibly, who knows, maybe in the beta. I would imagine it's somewhere in the alphas when like campaigns and things come up. That's going to be a really interesting thing to see. But I'm going to have the Kickstarter link in the description just in case you guys want to go check out. There's a lot of lore on that page. There's a lot about the game. There's a lot about what you'll get if you're a backer and things like that. And I think that's pretty cool. I love Kickstarters because backers always get something in return. Like, for example, Massive Chalice, if you were a big backer, you got your name entered into the lineage of the game, which is super cool. And there's a lot of things like that in this as well. I hope to see a lot more of this game in the future, and I'll see you guys next time.